Welcome, everyone, back to another episode of Muggle with a Mic. Katie here, and it might sound a little different. I'll explain later why. Visual viewers can see why. But I'm joined today for our Halloween episode by my good buddy, Jon. Hi, Jon.
Hi, thanks for having me.
This is your third time being on for a Halloween episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell our listeners why I might sound like I'm in a tunnel?
Because you are wearing a Mandalorian helmet.
That I am. And why am I wearing a Mandalorian helmet?
It's a Halloween costume.
And do you have a Halloween costume on?
No.
Oh, how the roles have been reversed. Because on the last episode, you and Phil gave me a hard time because I didn't have a costume on, right? And look at where we are now.
I actually didn't know we were supposed to have one.
I guess we did discuss it last time that we were all going to wear something. And you were Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Phil was Jafar, yes. And now I'm Beskar.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing we looked that up earlier. No, so I'm going to try to wear this the entire time.
It sounds good. You're fine.
Okay, good. Ow.
I was getting ready to say, are you comfortable?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. Only a lightsaber, or no, that was like a lightsaber. I deflected it. The microphone is a lightsaber. Yeah, no, I feel good. It moves really well. This is one I 3D printed. My brother-in-law 3D printed it. I had it at Final Boss Con last year on Star Wars Day, so I thought. And I've got my Steelers outfit on because it's a black and gold Mandalorian helmet. Mm-hmm. Steelers are doing really great right now. I've got my terrible towel back here. So,
I don't know what that is. All your sports references are lost on me.
The terrible towel. Terrible towel is a Myron Cope. It was a fundraiser at first, I believe, for children's hospitals. And some of the proceeds still go for, I believe, children's hospitals, but Myron Cope's foundation. And every Steelers fan has a terrible towel. And when you see the games, you see them waving them around like that. So there you go. All right. Jon, it's Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Yeah, well, we missed it. We had to reschedule a couple times, but here we are. Let's see your mug for Halloween.
I have a spooky mug. So it says spooky.
Ooh, I was spooked. Very good. And what are we drinking in it?
Diet Pepsi.
You were supposed to lie. You were supposed to blow on it and say that it was coffee. Well, here's mine. It's not so spooky, but it goes on along with my costume. It's my Steelers Tervis mug. Travel mug, in a way. And it has a straw, so I'm able to get it.
You don't need to take your helmet off to use it. Nope. That's important.
This is the way, Jon. All right, Jon, what are we talking about for this Halloween episode?
We're talking about Beetlejuice.
Yes. We're going to have a full-on conversation with this helmet on.
I got to put a long pause after I say his name. I wonder how long that pause needs to be.
Does he honor commas? Periods? Any punctuation?
Probably not.
So no pause matters. I guess it has to be in...
it has to be boom, 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 just like that.
Right, I mean, like, if you say one at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just one Beetlejuice at each one. Mm-hmm. But you still said it.
I don't think that counts. Yep.
Okay. Well, then that's what we'll do.
All right.
We were just talking to your daughter, and we were saying what the third film will be called. Mm-hmm. What do you think it'll be called? Beetlejuice, etc.?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, there you go. Is it Warner Brothers that makes it? Who is it that makes it? They can just send me the royalty check for that. All right.
So, yeah, Beetlejuice just had a sequel, which it was good. I liked it. But you want to talk about the first one first?
Yeah, go for it. Hey, Jon is going to be the MC for this episode on the movie talk because you are, I think, a bigger fan. I love Beetlejuice, but I think you know more about it than I do.
When it came out in 88 or 89?
I think 88 because it's the same age as me.
I was 5 years old when that came out. Okay. And that was the time when any big movie came out, there was toys, cartoons, all kinds of merchandising. Like think of Batman too. At that same time, all kinds of merchandising. So that was a big part of my childhood, was that movie and all the toys and the cartoons that go with it. And at that time, it seems like the worst characters would get their own children's cartoon. Like the late 80s, early 90s, like Rambo had a cartoon and RoboCop had a cartoon, and you wouldn't think that Beetlejuice would translate well to a cartoon, but he did.
So he started out as a cartoon?
No. The cartoon
Oh.
came after the movie.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the cartoon just had Lydia living in the house with her parents, and her and Beetlejuice were friends.
Oh.
And she could go into the netherworld.
Complete different relationship.
Yeah.
And okay, so what you're saying is the cartoon came after, and they had a completely different relationship than in the movie.
Yeah.
What do you think their decision behind that was? Just a different perspective?
Yeah, to make it more kid friendly, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's kind of the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah, if he was a creepy guy seeking out her for marriage, that might not draw the kids in.
Yeah, but it came out and has since gone on to be a pretty iconic movie with a lot of iconic scenes with the music in it. Yeah, Danny Elfman's score, and also Harry Belafonte.
Yeah.
His music in that. Like the scene when they're dancing around the table.
Oh, no, all of that. And it was taking classic music and making it popular again. I will say, like, with this movie, I was a little hesitant. I mean, we're talking about the coming up again, the Beetlejuice. But we have a lot of films that were big during that time or were big before, and we're making sequels out of them again. What's your thought on that? Like, this one has its own unique things with the music and all that stuff. Are you happy they're remaking ones like this or no?
That's a good question, because if you're a fan of something, you always want more of it.
Yeah.
But then, is it just a cash grab, or is it actually going to be good? I thought the sequel was, for the most part, good. Probably the part I didn't like about it was the Willem Dafoe character and the Beetlejuice's wife. It really didn't add much to the story. I kind of liked the part about the boy with Astrid, that was trying to get her soul, and then when they go another one, I thought maybe they should have focused more on that. Yeah.
That's what I call her, Wednesday.
But I still liked the scenes with Willem Dafoe's character and the secretary always coming in and giving him a coffee. And
Yeah. It had its own little sections.
And he got a little bit of a backstory on Beetlejuice.
True. Well, I mean, okay, back to the... This is going to happen.
You got to remember, you've got that on your head.
Well, here's the worst thing. My nose is itchy.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
You got a pencil or something you can stick up there?
I got it. This is the way. Okay, I got it. We're good. Anyway, the music. I love the music because the music is a character in and of itself. When certain sections of the song came up, you knew Beetlejuice was around, or Beetlejuice was near or on his way or something like that. And music really... I think makes the characters are great in and of their own. The music makes them better. Agree?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Good.
Especially when you got a great score like what Danny Elfman was able to do.
Oh yeah.
Because it was, like you said, it's almost a character itself.
Yeah, love it. And then who doesn't know the Dale?
Yeah.
Dale. And then them dancing around that table is hilarious. Now, I never want to be possessed for any reason. But if I were, and the possession was to get me to dance, I think I might approve of that.
Yeah.
Because I can't dance myself, so if someone else takes over, I might actually be good. Yeah. What did you think about, I will say, okay, so I rewatched Beetlejuice to get ready for Beetlejuice. I watched it so much as a kid. And this happened a lot with these movies that I watched a lot then and I haven't seen in a while. Everything was coming back. But a lot of the adult humor and concepts went over my head when I was a kid. And so it was almost like watching the film now was watching a different movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. My favorite part of the original was the miniature town. And the fact that he was in there, he drove a little truck into the thing, into the tree. Was it into a tree?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved, that was my favorite part. And then they eventually get down, put in there, and they have the artificial turf in squares. And the detail that Tim Burton did in that, I mean, that's just unique to him.
And they don't really do that anymore.
No.
It would be CGI in most movies now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you always remember the scene when he when they first go down there and he leaves and he's like talking about the model and the quality of it, and he grabs himself. That's the part I always remember when I was 5 years old watching that movie. Because it was
the difference between boys and girls watching this movie.
Yeah, and the beeping noise it makes when he does it. But when you're 5, when you see that, it's like,
whoa,
it's really funny but really cool at the same time.
Yeah.
And was that movie PG-13?
It'd have to be. I was watching it. My parents wouldn't let me watch it if it wasn't. Yeah.
So I mean, putting that in a movie. That, granted, I was 5 years old and I shouldn't have been watching it, but still, most kids, were still seeing it because that was a cool movie at the time.
Oh yeah. Well, and
and then you could recreate that scene on the playground.
Right. Oh, good heavens. The other thing are the wardrobe of the movie. You see a black and white plaid shirt with khaki pants, you know what movie it's from. Mm-hmm. And with a flowered dress, a girl with a flowered dress, you know exactly who they are. Mm-hmm. And then they do the face with the beak face and all that kind of stuff. Tim Burton is a exceptional director.
Yeah, and all the actors were great in that movie, and I think Michael Keaton was so iconic in the role that and Winona Ryder and Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, who I think she was really good too. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. They are almost overshadowed at times by Beetlejuice, who's like, how often was he in the movie? Actually, just a few minutes.
Yeah. And I have to say, I did wear this outfit because Michael Keaton's from Pittsburgh. Yeah. And he's a big Steelers, Pirates, Penguins fan. He said that when his grandson was born, he said that he would lean over the crib and just go, Pirates, Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, Steelers, Penguins. Just to, indoctrinate it into them from birth. But yeah, so that's also why I was doing the Steelers stuff. But plus I had the helmet. How are you doing, by the way, not seeing my face?
Makes it easier for me.
Ouch. It hurt, but I get it. I do. The helmet is a character of itself. So I'm fun with it. Anyway, okay. What else about the original film drew you to it to like it?
The humor, the special effects. The stop motion. They use, like with the snake and the sandworms and things like that.
The doctor's office or whatever it is, the one where you have to pick a number, and that was great.
Because we've all been in that position before.
Well, and the fact
and
that
you can imagine what the number in the afterlife would be.
Gosh. Like. Well, you've got plenty of time. It doesn't really matter what number you get. Mm-hmm. You're just gonna have to wait. But the other thing is, you see everyone how they die.
Yeah.
The guy who gets flattened.
Yeah, the one that's working, the beauty contestant that slit her wrists.
I wondered what that. Okay, so that's one of the things that went over my head as a kid. I don't know. I didn't know what that meant. Yeah. But then, as an adult watching it, I was like, "Whoa, geez!"
And if you remember, Otho made a joke that he said, "If you commit suicide, you come back as a civil servant." And then she committed suicide, and she's working as a receptionist.
Wait, help me out. Which one's Ortho?
Otho was the chubby guy that did the seance and the interior decorator.
So wait, he comes back as a civil servant.
Yeah, that's a joke he made at when they were having dinner. He said he heard that if you commit suicide, you come back as a civil servant.
Oh.
And she committed suicide, and she was working as a secretary.
I get you. It's the worst punishment, basically. Yeah. Oh gosh, wow. See. so many different levels to the story. And it's, I mean, there are still some films that are made that way today, but I just don't think, I just think they were trying harder back then to be unique, and they were taking risks.
Yeah.
I feel like these studios don't want to take risks anymore. Because I'm telling you right now, Beetlejuice would not be made today for the first time. So
I mean, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
He couldn't grab his crotch in a movie today and make beeping noises with it.
Exactly, or the wrist thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a good film. You want to get into the second one a little bit more? Or you have anything else on the first one?
No, but before we talk about the second one, they for years wanted to make a sequel.
Yeah.
But it was kind of stuck in development. The idea they had was Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. I don't know any more than that. I think the Dietzes moved to Hawaii. I think Charles was wanting to do like some kind of a land development there.
But I thought the whole point was Beetlejuice couldn't leave the house. And here's the other thing. Did Beetlejuice die in the house?
No, I don't think so. No, because in the second one you find out he was in the Black Plague.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't think he's tied to the land or anything like that. But yeah, I think from what I've read about Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian is that Charles Dietz was wanting to do like a land deal in Hawaii, and they go there, and Beetlejuice follows them there.
Now, is that why he died from a piranha attack in the second one?
I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not.
That's the connection.
But I don't know if that was like an idea they had that.
Yeah.
But they had to get that guy out. They couldn't put him in the movie.
Yeah. I didn't know why. We're not going to say why, but I did Google it. So if you're interested, you can Google it. But yeah, I wondered why he wasn't in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Moving on.
But yeah, Beetlejuice is what they call now a legacy sequel.
Okay.
They bring back these beloved franchises with some original actors and bring in some new ones like Jenna Ortega, which she seems to be in everything. And she was in the Scream revival. She was in 2 of those. But I think she's done with those, or make another one. They're moving on without her character.
She's a good one.
Yeah, I like her.
She's good in the role. Mm-hmm. Do you wish to see her in something a little less, I don't know if emo is the right term?
Yeah, she's kind of been pigeonholed as a kind of a goth character between this.
Goth,
Wednesday, and and she, like I said, she did the Scream movies, so she's kind of getting put, and she was in X, too, which is another horror movie that you should not watch.
Thank you for the warning.
But that seems to be the genre she's in. I don't know if she's doing that consciously to kind of shed the little girl image that she kind of has.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of actresses would do.
I have a theory. Barbie 2. Goth Barbie. I mean, that would be apropos. Or don't do goth. Do a completely different character to try to get her out of that. Unless she likes that role. She may just be happy with it. If it's working, it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was Astrid, Winona Ryder's daughter. So Lydia Dietz's daughter. Mm-hmm. She's back. Lydia is a host of a ghost show. Where she can see ghosts. And
I'm sorry, I didn't know the mic would pick up the straw. Go ahead. Lydia has a ghost show. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
And they're estranged. So when the movie starts, Charles Dietz has met his demise. That's kind of what brings the family together. Mm-hmm.
Which is a great way to bring the movie back. A death.
Yeah.
Because that's how the first movie started.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked out well. Now, that's the other thing is, I think studios are having this problem of when you're coming back and bringing back a movie like Star Wars and other films, you're just basically rehashing the same story. Alien is the same way. It's the same story with different characters. This I liked it was the same characters, but a different story. Mm-hmm. So I really like what they did.
Yeah, and they expanded on Beetlejuice's background, expanded on like the netherworld and what it's like to move on like with the Soul Train.
Yeah, that was cool.
You got to see more of that. So that was we like seeing that. But yeah, they did a good job of expanding what was already laid down in the first one.
And it still had the feel of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still, did they do the stop animation? Because I feel like that was all the same. It all looked identical to the original one with some improvements.
Yeah. I don't know if the scenes where they had Charles, his death, if that was stop motion or not. It looked like stop motion.
Oh, the clay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they used like CGI plus stop motion in that one.
I was a little bit confused by that because it was almost like the claymation on the show Community.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like that fit. I think they could have told that story differently. It looked too like a kid TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like a kid trying to do Tim Burton, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So they could have just done it and said, "Hey, your dad has died."
Yeah, I don't know if we needed the animation of it. You could have just told the story or done like a 2D animation type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it might have been better had they not shown that.
Yeah,
and then when they do show him half eaten, and that might have been like more humorous to see him that way.
Yeah,
I saw him as kind of a surprise.
It was quite funny when his aorta was spurting out blood every time he moved. Wouldn't he dry out eventually? You only have so much blood.
Yeah. And when Delia sees him in the afterlife, she doesn't even say,
that was
"Where's
sad.
the rest of you?"
Yeah. Oh, Charles. But that was sad. I was sad she died though.
Yeah.
That's for the stupid snake thing. They sent her the wrong snake.
Yeah.
That double check your Amazon packages. I mean.
Yeah, she was good in that. I really liked the part where she's screaming and trying to get different emotions captured.
Oh, yeah. On the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, I will say, what's her name? Catherine O'Hare.
Yeah.
I did not see Moira Rose, even though Moira... Have you watched Schitt's Creek?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Even though Moira Rose is similar to her, I did not see her at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's mostly in the accent.
Yeah. And yeah, they're similar characters, but very different because Delia is like the artist type.
Yes.
But she's I really like that character, and I think she's probably one of the best parts of the original. Again, overshadowed by Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice character, I think. I
will say, her design aesthetics, I mean, how much weirder could you get?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And did you notice her old statues in the background scenes, like at the school?
At the school, yes. The one that had hugged her in the first one. What were some of the other ones? That was the main one I noticed.
Yeah, there was that one, and then there was another one that was like a ball and a cube stuck together, like these vine things that kind of crawled on the floor.
Where were they at in the new one?
I didn't see them in that one.
Okay. They probably were somewhere. Because they apparently donated a bunch of money to that school, and that's why they put it out there. Yeah. And that's why Jenna Ortega's character is annoyed, because her family's always in her face, basically. Okay, the tie-in to the kid. That was great. Did you know, spoiler people, did you know that he was dead?
When I first saw it, no. I didn't really think about it. But it was weird when you didn't see the parents' faces. Like the mom and daddy went in, but again, I didn't put it together until the big reveal.
It was good. I a lot of times, because I'm not trying to figure out the movie.
Yeah, you're just watching it.
Yeah, I just want to enjoy it and figure things out as the director wanted me to.
And that's not the type of movie where you would kind of expect a mystery to be.
Right. Yeah. So I was pleasantly surprised, but I was like, wait, should I have known that? I should have known it when he had the book in his room. Mm-hmm. But I thought maybe the book he got at a yard sale or something.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Is that what he said?
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. So that's why I thought it.
He was lying.
Liar. Well, he was a terrible kid.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed really nice, and you thought, oh, she found someone like her, and her family's not like her, and then he betrayed us all. I thought it was really good. And that's what I'm saying, where they changed the story. It's not the same thing. They added new things, and the things that they added were really good and made sense in the story.
Yeah, I really liked that that part of the movie with him, and that's why I say I wish they would expand on that and cut out the Willem Dafoe character. And,
True.
Because I thought that was the more interesting part.
Yeah, and really, the Willem Dafoe didn't really add it. It really didn't add anything. It was just sprinkles on top.
The ending would have been the same had that character not been in it.
Yeah, and they came, and the police like ran into the church, and then nothing came of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the church scene at the end. What'd you think of all that with the song?
I really liked it. I went back the other day and looked that song up. So it's supposed to be a pretty famous song, but I don't think I've ever heard it before.
Yeah. I have a feeling people maybe 10, 15 years our senior might know.
Yeah.
Like my parents.
But it's like a really long song.
Mm-hmm. And they used it all.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then it's a big climactic part of the movie, and the song almost isn't climactic, but the way they included it made it that way. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it was a really good part because I kind of felt that the tone of the movie was pretty steady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the original you had, everything is new and different in the original, so you kind of have a lot of ups and downs. Especially with like the scene at the dinner when they're possessed. That's like in the middle of it.
Right.
But this is the big climax. The big music scene was at the end. You kind of waiting for things to get crazy. Yeah. Because for the most part, they're just kind of running around in the netherworld, I guess, and in the hallways and stuff, and then things get crazy. Yeah. And I do like that they were in the underworld more than the first one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a good film. There was like the only thing, like I said, with the claymation that I might not have liked. And the other thing I will say is it was an hour and 45 minutes. They didn't have us there for 2.5 hours. Yeah. Just because we haven't had the movie in 36 years. Yeah. They kept it to a limit that you wouldn't get bored, and you wouldn't say that part needs taken out, other than William Dafoe. But the story, I just love when a movie's less than 2 hours. Yeah. If you have to go over 2 hours, you've either done too much or it's too complicated. Yeah. So something I kind of wish they would have expanded on was the Maitland characters. That's kind of like, she was like, they found a loophole and moved on.
I know. You gave us all the piranha attack information, but nothing about the main characters from the last movie. Mm-hmm. Now, let's just get into this. Do you think they didn't want to include Alec at all?
I think out of just all of the characters, those two they're supposed to be dead, so they are frozen in time. The fact that they have aged probably had an effect on that. But again, had they been in it, that would have been too many characters, I think.
Well, true. But they could have had him at the beginning like they had Charles. Yeah. Charles died.
I would have liked to seen more about what that loophole was and seen them move on.
Right, because they were supposed to be in there for, 124 years?
Yeah, they gave a year.
36 years, or less than that because they had moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe there'll be another series about that. Like a whole other series. Like, they'll do that, a mini series on HBO Max or something. Anything to make a buck. And we'll give it to them, unfortunately. Beetlejuice, I have no more money. Anyway. Okay, anything else about the film? You would recommend it, it sounds like.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a worthy sequel, I think.
Worthy.
Whether or not they do a third one, I've heard that Michael Keaton would be interested in doing it.
They did well on this, I think. I mean, depending on how much time it took Tim I'm assuming he wrote this. You think?
I don't know if he did or not.
Well, whoever did whatever. Depending on how long it took them, I don't want them to rush into making another one. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, Michael's going to be what? 80? Do something like that. So I don't know.
No, I wouldn't mind. If they did make a sequel. But I think it did a good enough job on this.
Yeah, I think one more. Don't be making 5.
Yeah, I mean, you got the three Beetlejuices. You got to do 3.
Yeah, you got to do. Maybe the next one will just be titled. Don't even say it. Don't say it. Yep. Okay. So I have a fun little thing at the end here to do. Okay. It's not really a quiz. It's more participation.
All right.
But we can keep track of how many you get right. It's also just information to let our viewers know. So, Beetlejuice, third word name that we're not going to say, is a superstitious, almost like Bloody Mary, right?
Or Candyman.
What's the Candyman one?
That's a horror movie.
Oh, that's why I don't know it.
If you say Candyman, I think 5 times, he'll come and kill you.
5 is a lot. Maybe. Oh, good heavens. Or like The Ring. Remember the movie The Ring? I had a high school friend, Ted, who tormented me with that. He knows what he did. If you're listening, Ted, I will find you.
Did you watch that movie?
I'll bring you in hot or cold. No, because of what he tormented me with. We were on AOL Messenger or MSN Messenger. I can't remember which one it was.
I remember them both well.
Yeah, and he sent me the link to the video, and I clicked on it, not knowing what it was, and it said, if you watch this video in like 5 days' time, you're going to die. As at that time, I just didn't like that. I don't like horror stuff like that, and I didn't want him to send it to me. Well, it was all the rage because The Ring had just come out. I didn't know what it was. It freaked me out. I got mad at him, and I said, I'm never talking to you again, Ted. And I closed the window, and we went to school the next day, and he said, Katie, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I'm not talking to you. And then I forgave him eventually, but he had to know I was upset. And here we are. I'm wearing a Mandalorian helmet.
And you were watching the calendar like, 5 more days,
Yes!
I'm going to die.
I was like, well, I am superstitious. Speaking of superstition, sports fans are superstitious. So, like, I am a little bit. When you send me that, no, I don't believe it, but it does make me feel uneasy. So I was mad at him. So anyway, we're going to go over some other superstitions.
All right.
These are ones that I got off of Google. So if there's any accreditation needed, go to Google. That's where I got it. Okay. This first one. I'm just going to read something. As soon as you can think of it, you tell me what you think it is. Okay.
All right.
The actual origins and even meanings of this phrase are as varied as the cultures which use it, with some suggesting roots in the Indo-European or Celtic belief that spirits, good and bad, resided in trees, could either be called upon for protection or chased away by doing this, and others linking the practice to the magical powers of the crucifix. Most likely, among the different theories, historians have attributed the superstition to a 19th century British children's game called Tiggy Touchdown, in which young players claimed immunity from being tagged by touching the nearest piece of wood.
And so I'm supposed to say what?
What superstition do you think that's attributed to?
Is the touching wood part important?
Yeah.
Knock on wood?
Yes!
Okay.
Oh, let me get the little sounds for you, because that's why we do this. Oh, wait, let me turn up the volume. There we go. You didn't look at the paper, did you? Okay, good, because I can barely read it. Look at me. I'm an old Mandalorian. It's okay. This next one. Like knocking on wood, this superstition also involves the idea of warding off evil. In this case, the devil himself. In Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, Jesus' betrayer Judas is portrayed as having accidentally spilled something. Since Judas was associated with doing something bad, the argument goes that ipso facto, so was this substance, and doing this would blind the devil waiting there. Think dinner time, maybe something you might spill on the table while you're eating.
Don't cry over spilled milk.
No, that's a good one. Think of spices.
Of throwing the salt over the shoulder.
Yes. Boom. All right. So, next one. You've gotten 2. Good job. This also has roots in Christian symbolism. The Holy Trinity, or the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, led to an association of the number 3 with something sacred. The triangle, with its 3 sides, came to be regarded as sacred as well. And this item forms a triangle. So naturally, to do this would be to destroy the sanctity of the Trinity and thus incur punishment. Dum, dum, dum. Think of the triangle. And something that's superstitious with it. Maybe.
Would that be doing the sign of the cross?
No.
No.
It's more so like doing a movement around this triangle.
I don't know.
It would be, hit that third yellow button. That's what salt in the wound right there. No, it's walking under a ladder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a stretch,
Yeah.
like saying the three sides and the Holy Trinity, and I'm like, it's a stretch.
Yeah.
I'm going to tilt my head on that one. Okay. The Greek myth of Narcissus, or the idea that a crack in it would somehow break its charm or trap one's soul. It was the ancient Romans, however, who contributed this notion that this item would bring 7 years of bad luck, since it was believed that only poor health would cause this to happen.
Breaking a mirror.
Oh, third blue button. Nope. No, hit that again. Ladies and gentlemen, he hit the second blue button.
I was counting up. 1, 2, 3. It's the third one to count up.
Oh, I'm trying to lick my finger to turn the page. This is a disaster, John. Second, third blue button, hitting the helmet on the microphone. Okay. We'll do 3 more. How about that? Okay. The idea that finding this would bring good luck also originates in folk beliefs. In this case, based on the idea that metal, regarded by many ancient cultures as quite valuable, was sent by the gods to protect those whom they favored. These being made from metal, find them and you'll have good fortune. But be careful. Some say the luck could break either way, and that if you find this tails up, you should turn it over and leave it for the next person who will actually have bad luck.
Horseshoe?
No. That's a good idea because you're supposed to turn it, you know.
Because if it's facing down, the luck runs out.
It'll catch all the luck, yeah. Remember, it has to be on tail, if it's a tails side.
Oh, a coin?
Lucky penny,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, third yellow. You got that one wrong. In a way, you got it right. So, third blue. Woo-hoo. Okay. Like the number 7 for the Romans, magical significance has been attached to this, but this time it's unlucky rather than lucky. The number 12 has frequently been seen as positive, 12 months of the year and 12 signs of the zodiac, for example, or the 12 days of Christmas and 12 tribes of Israel, naturally making its nearest neighbor number to the north negative.
13?
Yeah, well, but what specifically? With the number 13.
Friday the 13th?
There you go. Third blue. No, John. He's having
Friday the 13th was when the Knights Templar were killed.
Oh, is that? Maybe that's in. Is it in my second paragraph I didn't read?
I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Like the other superstitions surrounding the Last Supper, the 13th is also seen as unlucky because, once again, the great betrayer Judas Icarus was the 13th member of the dinner party that led to Christ's crucifixion. Dude couldn't catch a break. In addition, on Friday the 13th of October 1307, King Philip IV of France arrested and put to death hundreds of the Templar Knights. There you go. You got it. All right, last one. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You ready to press the right button? Okay, here we go. Though these have been associated with good luck rather than its opposite, and were even worshipped as gods in ancient Egypt, things took a turn for the worse for these sometimes around the Dark Ages when, in 1232 A.D.
Cats.
What kind of cats?
Black cats.
Yes, third blue. Woohoo!
But continue.
A papal bull, or something papal, by Pope Gregory IX declared them an incarnation of Satan, according to People magazine. And you know what, People magazine and Pope Gregory? I agree.
People magazine was back during those times.
I don't know. It's a very reputable source. I mean, they have the sexiest man alive issue. But no, I agree with them. I think they're spawn of the devil.
Black cats?
All cats.
Okay.
I don't care if this alienates some of our listeners.
Because you're allergic.
Luckily, I've been blessed with being allergic to them. I don't want to go near them. They stress me out. What about you? You have a dog.
Yeah, we're dog people.
And that's why you're on the episode.
Okay.
If you were a cat person, the episode would end right here and now. Which it actually is. So. Wait, play the Beetlejuice song. Go to the right. No, John. Don't just hit any button. This one.
This one?
This one. No. That one was pretty good. No, the red button, the red arrow. The top right.
Game over, man. Game over.
The top right. And then we just slowly fade it out.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
We wanted to have Phil here, but he had to be at work. He got called out for work. But I'm so glad we did get this out a little late just because we had to reschedule a couple times. So it's just extending Halloween.
It'll be out in time for the digital release of Beetlejuice.
It's actually out. I had to pay for it.
Did you?
Yeah. But I will say today is All Saints Day, and yesterday was All Souls Day in the Catholic Church. So we're still technically kind of in Halloween time, so it is All Saints Day. So there you go. All right. Thanks, John.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Bye.